Elliot was calling me. I was watching Sarah speaking with Beta Patrick. I saw that a lot, and no surprise as she had to take on his responsibilities soon. All this peaceful transfer of power didn't sit well with me. Well, not unless I was the one getting the power. I could go there and forcibly take it, assert my dominance, but then I'd have to fight Beta Patrick. A more subtle approach was that Sarah accidentally fell off a cliff. Then they would have to make me Beta.
Layla,
What?
what are you staring at?
Sarah, I don't get what Reed saw in her.
Patrick said she's picking things up real quick.
I don't care what Patrick says. My biting comments shut him up. He looked like a hurt puppy. Man, this one needed hand-holding. Elliot, it's important to me that I find a way to make this work, for our sake.
I love you just fine without any fancy titles.
Was that supposed to be romantic? We deserve fancy titles. You and I, we are the strongest of the elites. We deserve it, and they're over there playing nice politics. I emphasized nice because I felt it was pretentious. We were werewolves. Nice shouldn't be how we run things.
I don't know. I'm sure things will work out.
Jason offered. He had been lying on the couch reading a graphic novel, ignoring Elliot and I for the most part. It better, I grumbled. Then I saw Reed. He'd been moping the last few weeks. I even wondered if he was sick. He looked like he had the weight of the world on his shoulders. I wasn't bothering kissing up to him anymore. He really got mad over the prank on the halfling mutt. She wasn't even here anymore, but his anger towards me didn't subside. I mean, get over it already. He seemed to think I betrayed his trust or something. Maybe he'll have an accident too. Something was different, though. There was a spring to his step. He looked like he had no worries. Confidence and focus came across clearly. All that moping, just gone. I saw him wink at Sarah. The girl seemed surprised. So whatever Reed was going through, Sarah had no indication that it would end. Was it some sort of alpha test? If so, he must have passed with flying colors. That swagger could only be that of a winner. I liked winners. Maybe I didn't need to be Beta. All that work, Sarah could have it. I looked over at Elliot, who was still pouting over my less than enthusiastic response to his attempt at romance. Yes, I had no problem leaving him behind if I could be Luna.
I headed down to the Alpha's office, confident that the potion had done its thing and I wouldn't have any more pain. It had been an odd experience. I couldn't even remember why I felt adamant about taking the potion, but I felt completely focused now. Sarah glanced at me, curious, I suppose, if I was okay, but I gave her a wink and smile without deviating from my destination. I knocked on the door to the Alpha's office. No one was there. I heard some rustling about a few doors down, the records room. When I opened the door, I found my dad looking through a desk full of folders. "What's up, Dad?" He looked frazzled, but stopped when he saw me.
Are you all right? You look like hell.
Yeah. I lied, sort of. I was fine now, anyway. And I wasn't about to tell my dad that I had an unscheduled, uncontrolled shift. Nor was I about to tell him I took a focus potion. That part was sounding silly even to me. I needed him to be confident that I was the right choice for Alpha. And anyway, I wasn't worried about it, so why should he be? Pointing to the mess on the desk of open folders and scattered papers, I asked him, "What's going on? Are you looking for something?"
Yes.
He usually didn't show his worry, but he looked a little panicked.
It seems that the halfling's file is missing. I can't imagine why anyone would move it. Maybe we misfiled it the last time we got her passport updated. It should have been in that box.
The box sat there open and empty. Oh, I took it.
What?
His black eyes were quite fearsome, but I didn't feel afraid. I had a strange calm within me. It made me feel bold. I took it, Ari was getting bullied pretty badly. Layla had this target on the poor girl. Anyway, I figured she needed her own paperwork to start living as a human off territory.
What human?
Ian looked shocked. His cheeks paled. His body started to tremble in rage as he slowly stood up. I didn't feel scared of him. Did I do wrong? We don't allow humans to live here. She told me she turned 19 and the moon didn't give her a blessing. No wolf, no moon gift. That makes her human.
She's 19?
Ian fell into his seat again.
What do you mean, no wolf? That can't be right.
Why is the girl so important? I didn't get it. She was just a halfling.
She's not just any girl.
Normally a very large man. The way he slumped in the chair made him look small. Scared, even.
She is a halfling, not how you think.
Not wolf?
Yes, wolf, but not just wolf.
Is this the big bad Duin was worried about? I couldn't imagine what such a tiny, weak girl could possibly possess to scare werewolves, but my father nodded.
Her mother was a gatekeeper.
Gatekeeper? To the spark? I almost laughed. That's just children's stories. It can't be real?
It is.
His tone was sobering.
Gatekeepers must be pure of body, in order to harness the cleanest of magic, to keep the gate closed.
Let me guess, she didn't stay pure? This sounded stupid.
She fell in love. Her name was Chunhei. She met Ryan when I sent him to Korea as our diplomat. It was a strong bonding at first sight. Nothing could be done.
Bonding? I rolled my eyes. Like that was something that actually happened. No one was a slave to some love-at-first-sight crap.
Sung was an apprentice gatekeeper. She's the one who told me what happened. Something reached out from the other side and escaped into Chunhei when she got too close.
What escaped?
Many assume it is the Dark One. It saw the purest form of life and latched on.
Wait, so the purest life
Was Ari.
and it turned her into some big bad monster? That meek slip of a girl?
There was fear of what could be born. The vampires attacked first. Sung saved Chunhei and Ryan, and kept them in hiding for a long time. Ryan begged me to give them shelter, but to do so would have been going against the royals and would have brought war with all the other creatures.
Lycans were stronger than the general werewolf community and ruled over all the packs globally. It was their laws we abided by, so it was no surprise that we couldn't give them sanctuary.
All I could do was to send him the pack medallion. I wanted him to invoke pack law to save himself. Ryan never saw his daughter. They were somehow discovered, and he died fighting as Sung got Chunhei out. Chunhei lived long enough to give birth, but the Lycan guards found her. The king claimed they eliminated the issue, and the other supernatural leaders bowed down.
But Ari is alive.
Even I believed the announcement, until Sung showed up with the halfling.
So she pretended to be Ari's mother until she decided she didn't want to anymore?
As long as the child was human, Sung was willing to take care of Ari. But one night, the girl's eyes turned a pale blue. She told Sung that the moon was speaking to her. Sung brought her here the very next day.
Wolves don't hear the moon. My dad sighed, knowing what I said was true. So she lied? He reached into his pocket and pulled out the medallion with the pack crest.
I don't know, it doesn't really matter. It was Ryan's last wish. I couldn't refuse it. No one knew that Ari was the missing child, so I took a chance.
I'm still missing the part where Duin is freaked. Fun story, but I just wasn't getting the fear that the situation seemed to evoke.
Some witch out there is talking of rising powers. I think Duin is expecting a dragon or something crazy like that. Not some girl.
Dragon is definitely crazy.
You can't blame him. You know the legend. The spark created a prison to lock the darkness inside along with her own power. The last prophecy claims that either the light or the dark will find a vessel and become the most powerful being among us.
So what, Ari is the darkness personified? Could Ari really be that dangerous?
This part I heard from Hattie. A few centuries back, a witch called on the darkness to try and win a war. The action left a crack in a gate, and though the darkness was quelled at the time, they knew it was only a matter of time before the dark power would rise again, as the Dark One. With those eyes, I don't blame Sung for abandoning her. Still, I don't understand it. Whatever else she is, even I can feel her wolf beyond her creepy vibe. There's no way she was rejected. Even your mother predicted that the girl would come into her wolf.
As far as I can see, she's just a girl, I offered. Ian gave me a come-on, son look and shook his head. Maybe after all this mess, the moon thought it best to keep Ari human.
Maybe. Maybe the darkness couldn't manifest because the host was too weak. Still, there's a world of creatures out there, and if they find out about the girl still being alive, the Lycan will come down on us. They are not the forgiving kind.
It was clear I now had to get her back. What a drag. If I hadn't felt sorry for her, I wouldn't have to go fetch her now. If you're so scared of her, why have you kept her as a servant?
That's simple. If she becomes powerful, we need her under our control. If she felt obligated to me, to this pack, she would use her powers as we need it. We would be the greatest power, and no one would dare come against us, you see? Not even the royals.
Ian adjusted himself on the tiny office chair, leaning closer to me. So the girl was a tool to him. I guess my dad really didn't like the royals. This is why you had her labeled the halfling? Made her feel indentured to us?
Precisely. Since I had to take her in, I might as well make it work to my benefit.
That's cunning. Ian looked pleased. But from my point of view, it looked like she was being bullied to the point of physical injury. Ian had a so what look on his face. If she were to gain her full powers, she might have turned on us. Ian didn't say anything as he thought this over. Apparently it never occurred to him. Maybe we can still salvage this. I had a good friendship with her, I think. I helped her from time to time. I could go find her and bring her back, but the bullying needs to stop if we are to gain her trust. We should treat her like she is welcome here, like this is her home.
Huh. Where is she exactly?
I don't know. I set her up in the apartment, but she moved out.
How long has she been gone?
A month. But don't worry. I'm sure I can find her if you want me to.
Reed, you seem really calm about this.
I guess I'm just not afraid of monsters. I pulled out the magazine I had brought down. I meant to give it back to Layla. She's working as a model now, so I'll just check the agencies around town. I'll let you know what turns up.
Shit. She's working for the Fae. And now the world can see her. They must suspect who she is to be using her like this. Reed, this is of the utmost importance. Bring her back.
I nodded and turned to go.
Hold up, just curious, son.
Yeah, Dad?
Why did you want to help her get out? I mean, besides the bullying. You helped her set up and everything.
I blinked. I don't know. I guess she just seemed nice enough.
Why were you friends with her?
She worked hard. I didn't see a need to not be kind in turn.
How did you get over that creepy feeling?
I never had it. Honestly, I felt sorry for her. Why did I feel so sorry for her? I tried to remember, but my mind was fuzzy on it. It didn't matter anyway. All I needed to do was do what was best for the pack.